Okay, so here's the microchip for the mod. We're going to have to bridge those two middle pins for the S controller. That's what it looks like up close. Next, we're doing the ground wire. Got to tin that connection and solder the black wire, which is the ground wire, right to it. Put a little glue down to hold the chip on, stick it on there, and then we're going to route the other three bottom wires around the bottom of the board. Note how I'm wrapping it around so that it doesn't contact with the rumble motor part of the case. And then we're going to bend our red wire around, which is for the left trigger. Stick a little glue on it. And then we're going to route it down to the resistor and capacitor. Now the resistor and the capacitor are connected where we are soldering the wire on. There's a close-up zoom, you can maybe see the trace where they're connected, so it doesn't really matter which one you attach it to. You can attach it to both of them. Stick a little flux on there. You can tin it like I'm doing here in the video, but that's optional. But just touch it really quickly, otherwise you can lift and remove those. Just tap it real quick with the soldering iron and it's connected. That's all you need. That's what it looks like when it's soldered on there. Really nice, really clean. No globs. So we just want to route the red wire, drop a little glue on it, and peel back that tape. Put a little flux down. Now we're doing the power connection. Tin that pin on the header there. And you want just a little ball of solder, just like that. And then we're going to stick that wire next to it and press it up against the pin as we heat it up and it connects on there. Here's another angle, another view of that. Press it sideways as we heat it up and make that connection. That's all there is to it. Next, we're gonna put it back together, put the tape over that, route the wire, drop a little glue on it. Now we're gonna do the B button connection, and what we're gonna need to do is scrape this trace right here. And we're gonna scrape it right where I'm pointing to with the tweezers. If something goes wrong, we can scrape it and try again further up, closer to the button here. We're gonna scrape below that SW3. So we got our razor blade out, and we're gonna scrape through the solder mask and get down to the bare copper. It's gonna look tan at first, but we're not done until we get a shiny copper look like a brand new penny. Obviously, I didn't mean to scrape that via there. That's what those round things are called, vias. So I'm going to have to avoid bridging over to that bare copper on that via. Just about got it. Finally getting that shiny copper look. Perfect. There we go. Now we're going to add a little flux to it and tin it. And there's not going to be a lot of solder on there, but it's still tin. Then we stick our purple wire, which is the B button right on there. Just give it a little pop and there it's done. Put a little glue on it. And that's what it should look like. Not much to it. Next is the sync button connection. That one's pretty tricky. We're going to tin it and then stick the wire on there. Obviously that's not the best angle, but there we go, perfect. Here's another angle. I'm going to touch right to it and done. That's what it should look like when it's done. I'm going to stick a little glue on there. And there you go. That's what it should look like when it's done. You want to avoid putting tons of glue on that microchip because sometimes they produce heat. Next, we're going to do the right trigger, which is obviously the most important. Put in a little flux on there. Hold it right up to that. And just like left trigger, just quick tap, tap with the soldering iron. That's all you need. And that's what it looks like when it's done. And finally, we're going to do the yellow wire, which is the LED indicator. Now you want a short bit of wire, just like that. See how it's short so we don't have extra wire hanging out touching those resistors. Really want to avoid that resistor 13 there on this generation 3. It's a little closer, so you want to avoid that. And that's what a done controller looks like. That's all there is to it. Obviously I'm a pro, so it goes pretty fast, but you can do it too. Just be careful. Thanks guys, bye.
Be sure to check us out at 7watts.net to see some more of us and our awesome gaming gear. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest up-to-date content and check out our other awesome videos. And remember, gaming is better with us, 7 watts.